Hello, friends. This is Pritha, and welcome back to 5 Minutes of Authenticity, where yours truly, being a life coach who works with individuals on authenticity, talks about reflections, mindful and intentional conversations, and thoughts that take us probably one step closer to living our true, honest selves. In my experience as working with individuals, I have been so privileged to learn so much from their inspirational thoughts. This month, as you know, as I pick a theme every month for those of you who have been following the space, and if you're new here, welcome. I have picked expanding into our power as our thought for July. Last week, we spoke about what it means to take up space, and I mentioned to you about a note that I received from a dear friend who's much older, and they mentioned they have just taken up space and they feel worthless. Now, they were having a bad day, they're not feeling in the best of health, which is probably what caused them to say this, but what I did is, I went back and asked them, why did you say this? You have lived such a beautiful life. You've raised a beautiful family. You've contributed to your community, to your professional life, to your personal life. You're a source of so much comfort and wisdom for so many. What makes you think you took up space? And that's when they mentioned that when they were very young, they went through experiences that made them feel they were not enough, that they were inept, that they were not worth something. The feeling of rejection, the feeling of a lack of confidence, or rather the feeling of knowing they were dispensable, played on, and despite all the success they have received through the years, that concept of taking up space remains so paramount in such a negative tone in their mindset. Last episode, we talked about what taking up space is. It is about being present. It is about being mindful. It's about owning and saying, I am here, I have a voice, and I'm going to use it. So what happens, friends, is oftentimes there are experiences we go through in life that makes it hard for us to reclaim our voice. And that is what today's episode is about. It is about thinking, and not just thinking, but living the truth that my voice matters. Last month, we talked about taking the affirmation out of the mirror and putting it into practice. The moment you start to speak up in a situation where you have decided to be quiet, whether it is saying no when you want to say no, or saying yes when you want to say yes, speaking up in a team meeting, having a conversation in a chat group or a community where you know you're a minority, but your thoughts matter. You have to understand, friends, is when you reclaim your voice, you reclaim the bridge and you own that bridge between your inner truth and the outer world. And for many, many reasons, that bridge has been weakened by years of people-pleasing, fear, conditioning, social norms, external validations, a whole bunch of reasons. That bridge has been weakened for so many of us. And so the moment we want to reclaim that voice, it feels uncomfortable because people are not used to us doing that. So we get reactions. And we start to avoid those reactions, so we start to lose our voice very slowly. And by staying quiet, keeping the peace, speaking softly, avoiding the judgment, swallowing our needs, shrinking to fit in. But reclaiming your voice isn't about volume, friends. It is about expression. It is about letting your words and your actions match your truth. Speaking is what your mouth does. Expressing is what your soul does. If you recall, in the month of June, in some of the episodes I had mentioned, when you want to live your truth, you don't have to make a social post about it. If you are telling the world that I don't need affirmations, don't tell the world you don't need affirmations, because you don't need the world to affirm the fact that you don't need affirmations. You see how counterintuitive the whole thing is. Reclaiming your voice is a slow, steady practice. It begins first with telling the truth to yourself, and then to one safe person you can trust. And then in one small moment where you would have stayed silent, you actually speak your mind. That is how you reclaim your voice. That is how you start to strengthen the bridge that has become weak through years of habit and practice. For reasons that were bestowed upon us, we didn't choose them. Today, ask yourself, where is my voice asking to return? And let that one sentence, whatever it is, whatever your answer is, let that one sentence be spoken without apology. I once had a wonderful participants in one of my workshops, and they had worked in a particular organization for over close to maybe a couple of decades. And they were very sure that this was not what they wanted to do. But it took them quite some time to get out of that comfort zone of familiarity, of rocking the boat, of being there for everybody, of the crutch of being indispensable in this organization. Because, hey, that's a wonderful feeling when you know everyone needs you, right? That can become a crutch too, to a place of discomfort, and then leaving that organization to pursue something they had always wanted to do. I kid you not, it was hard. It is hard because you're suddenly leaving everything you know to go jump into a line of study that you've always dreamed about, but you've never attempted. That was what their voice asked them to return to, and they followed it. So, where is your voice asking you to return, friends? It could be something very small, and actually, there's nothing small or big about it. It is what you think is important for you. Let that one sentence be spoken, and let it be spoken without an apology. Until next time, this is Pritha. You were listening to 5 Minutes of Authenticity.